I'm Bev Adams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. This is the Shutter card I'm showing you. It uses Cool Treats and the coordinating Frozen Treats framelits, and it also uses the layering circles framelits. This card has lots of pieces, and my card base is Watermelon Wonder. This color is also retiring. This card base is the basic 5.5 by 8.5, but instead of scoring at 4 1/4, I have scored it at 2 1/8. And you can score it at 2 1/8 this way, or you can just go ahead and score it at 6 3/8, so that these sides will be the same. And I'm just going to crease those score lines. Cool Treats is a photopolymer, so I've got my Stampin' Pierce mat. And to start off by stamping this little popsicle in Peekaboo Peach. And I want to stamp it so that this image is going to be pretty much in the center. And I'm going to stamp this popsicle stick in Crumb Cake. And I'm going to stamp a little bit of a shine in Watermelon Wonder. There are lots of ways you can make these popsicles. You can make it one of those double popsicle sticks if you'd like. A circle in the middle of this, so I need my Big Shot platform, the thin die adapter, my cut up plate, my 2 layers. Usually you only want to cut 1 layer, but with the thin Whisper White I think I'm okay. I want to have it centered and down about 1 inch. Cover it up with the cling plate and run this through the Big Shot. And that cut out just fine. Ahead of time I used a piece of Peekaboo Peach and layered my number 4 straight with my number 3 scallop. You do want to try and make sure that they fit together so that you're not going to bend those little tips, but you can run them through the Big Shot at the same time to cut out this frame. You're going to save the center of that Peekaboo Peach, and you're also going to cut a piece of chocolate chip with the larger piece, the scalloped piece. I want to adhere this to the circle, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in my silicone mat. When I'm gluing, especially little pieces, I find it much better to use this mat. I'm using the green glue, but this is really adhesive of your choice. Because they were cut by the same piece, they'll fit exactly. And I'm going to stamp Happiest Birthday in chocolate chip. Beautiful. Next I want to add dimensionals, and I want to add them just really to the 4 corners, nothing in between. And tear off the backing for just these bottom 2. And position this. It's going to be the same height, and I want to position this in the center so that I can still lift up this panel. And I'm going to position my popsicle behind here. I want to make sure that it's not hanging out the side. If it does hang out the side, you want to trim it down a little bit, but it's just fine. So I will adhere this down. So it's only adhered to the card base, not to this panel at all. Next I want to put adhesive next to the fold. You could use Fast Fuse for this. I'm using tear and tape because sometimes it's easier to have that strip to remove it in your positioning. And I want to position this, want to be in a little bit from the fold. So I'm just going to close that. And then I want to do the same over here. So remove the backing and close here. Then I'm going to tuck in these banners and make sure that you have one on top of the other, and just kind of send this on a test run here. Perfect. So now I'm going to remove the backing on those top dimensionals. Perfect. Now I'm just going to work on the front. I have 2 panels of chocolate chip. These panels are just a little bit smaller than these panels. Again, I'll have all the dimensions and just adhere this panel down. And I'm putting the Watermelon Wonder Designer Series paper on top of that. I really like the polka dots for this. Repeat that on the other side. I have a strip of chocolate chip that I want to wrap around the card. And I want it snug but not too snug. And I also want to put some ribbon on this. So I'm putting a strip of the adhesive. And I know this isn't really for the ribbon, but there you go anyway. I like to use it on ribbon. And I don't really want these edges to be right at the center, so I do want to cross it off, but I don't worry about it. I am going to be covering that up. So I just need some adhesive here. Again, you want this so that you can still slide it off easily. Now I have saved some time on the video. I used this ice cream cone, and it cuts out the ice cream cone and scores the little sugar cone waffle. And I used this ice cream scoop with Very Vanilla. This one's crumb cake. And there are 2 kind of drippy pieces. I used the wider of these 2 with chocolate chip. So these are already ready to go. I want to stamp another popsicle just like we did on the inside. So I'm stamping the popsicle. I also want to do a tall popsicle. The highlights again will be in Watermelon Wonder. And this one has stripes. And the little popsicle stick in crumb cake. A little more Wink of Stella. And then I will cut those out. Again, the thin die adapter. And I have thick popsicle. And the tall popsicle. Cover with a clean plate and run it through the Big Shot. I want to put a fast fuse or tear and tape in the middle of that so that it sticks to the band and not to the card. Popping the Peekaboo Peach circle up with dimensionals. And I hope you can forgive me for letting my dog chew the bone in the background. Then I'm going to use dimensionals on my 2 popsicles and my ice cream. Then I'm going to double dimensional the ice cream scoop. So I'm going to put 1 dimensional on and then a second, take off the backing and add a second dimensional. So I'm going to put my popsicles on the sides and my ice cream scoop in the middle. And this one's popped up. So we have our shutter card. Happy birthday. Most of the products in this project are not retiring. The Designer Series paper is retiring. This ribbon is retiring, but there will be other ribbons that will look lovely on here. And of course the Watermelon Wonder, but you could certainly use other colors. I'm happy to say that Cool Treats and the Frozen Treats framelits will be carried over. Yay! So if you would like the directions for this card, come on over to bevadams.com. Talk to you soon. Bye.